All right, guys. So this is different from both of our normal content, but we're just going to be talking about our thoughts and opinions on Marvel Rivals. It's going to kind of be like a podcast thing. It's something you could put on in the background or, watch it actively, but I'm not sure why you would do that. Not much really going on in the screen right now. So this is my friend Jackson,
What's up?
and we are going to be talking about
Just keep going.
our opinions on it. So yeah, that's where we're going. So let's start out of 10, what would you have rated the beta?
I'd say a 9 out of 10.
9, really.
I
I
had a
mean,
I had a blast on the game. It
do you
was
have any like qualms with it? Any problems?
let me think. I mean, there was probably like some clunky stuff with like some of the movement parts and like some areas where you would see yourself jump over something, but it wouldn't be like you wouldn't be able to jump over or it wouldn't be as smooth. So they could probably like fix some ridges around with that or so.
Yeah, I didn't really run into anything like that. A lot of it did come from steamrolling from one side or the other. The matchmaking wasn't great,
Yeah.
you know? It was either we just completely obliterated. I had like 55 kills and just killing everybody, 1v6ing their entire team. And then other games, we would just like die, or be trapped in
Mhm.
spawn. Granted, it was more the first option than it was the second option. That may
Yeah.
go into the fact why we, or at least I, like it so much, just because we were just winning
Yes.
99% of the
We were kind
games.
of gods at the game. I, the Magneto main, the Magneto destroyer, and Lennon, the magic main.
Well, Magneto is getting nerfed, so
Sadly, but maybe he'll still be good. Maybe he'll still be valuable. Maybe I'll still have as much fun.
yeah, we'll just have to see what the nerfs are. He was a little bit overtuned in the
He was.
base game. What was his ultimate? Can you remember what that was?
His ultimate was basically a uh a spirit bomb of a bunch of rubble and debris, and he threw it down into a wide area.
Oh, right.
If it,
He like
yeah,
started flying, right?
if he direct impacted someone, it would usually like insta kill them or at least do like a ton of damage.
Mm.
But it also had a thing where you kind of had to wait for it to charge up to get as much damage as possible, I believe, because there was always like rubble coming in
Yeah.
and things.
I think
I think it would
it
collect other
gathered
things.
I think it gathered shots from enemies and then like
Yeah, I
maybe
think so
environment
too.
around the map. I'm not sure
Maybe.
about that. But the map environment is really cool. They
Mhm.
did the reveal for the two other maps. I think it was Venom and then like a Hydra base, right? I mean,
Yes, there was.
hopefully there's going
There's
to be
also a
more in the actual game because there was like what there was the Spider People one in the beta, and then there was the
yeah,
Asgard one in the beta, and then they revealed the Black Panther one, and then those
yeah.
two. So there's only gonna be five. Granted, there's like all these different variations of the maps and stuff, but
Mhm.
hopefully they'll add one or two more, and then just throughout it.
Yeah, the Black Panther one got revealed. People were able to play on that, and then the Venom planet. It's just really good that the maps just change also. Like they just change throughout the environment and like who you play as and things like that. I've seen like from I think it was the Black Panther map maybe that the whole entire point it got changed and the whole entire area got changed. It was really cool stuff actually. It
Yeah,
was
no,
really good.
it's crazy. It kind of reminds me of Advanced Warfare back in the day, whenever because that game had like the huge map changes. Obviously not to that extent, but like because that game there'd be like a huge tsunami and then you had to go to a completely different part of the map or something. But yeah, no, it's really
I wish
cool.
I played the game.
You need to, but it's really cool. The like the Venom one, how you can adjust the environment by shooting the symbiotes, Like that's one thing I think it has giant over Overwatch, especially, is because Overwatch maps are just kind of like there,
Hmm.
Like there is a difference aesthetically and kind of gameplay wise, but It's very much so whenever there's a new map, it's like, oh, okay, well there's a new map. That's cool, you know? But like
Yeah.
it's nothing like this game where it's going to be an entirely new environment for you to fight in. Like in the Hydra base, it's literally shifting to like some parts are high ground now whenever a certain team has and the other team, and there's like the three different points, the completely different design points, you know? And granted, Overwatch does have that, but like literally every single point on this map has a completely unique thing. And there's also the destruction, which is part of it. The destruction is crazy. I mean, yeah, it is
I
such a
will
fun mechanic.
I will give that Overwatch like they're when they make their maps, especially the newest ones, I've seen them. They're always really beautiful and like stylish, but they're kind of always like the same. I don't really notice like a competitive feel for them at all or like anything else. They just try to make sure that they're as beautiful as can be, I guess. But people aren't normally looking at that. They're kind of
Hmm.
focusing on the person in front of them that's just destroying them
Oh
or
yeah, for sure. I mean,
things like that.
Overwatch is a very like pretty game. I mean, it is 100% a nice looking one. But I mean, you do also have to look at like whenever they released the ice map, you know,
Yeah,
it
the
was
Antarctica
literally
one.
it was like, oh well, you can fish in this map, and it's like a small thing that you press once, and
I
like
think they got rid of that.
they got really
I'm pretty sure that that thing is gone because it actually caused frame problems when there was a ton of fish there.
that's crazy because like the difference between this game and that game, like you can literally blow up an entire building in this game and have like all these different destructible bits all around, you know, the battlefield, and in that game you have too many fish and the game crashes. Like what?
Exactly. Like I guess they're gonna have to release an Overwatch 3 to even come to even like there be environmental destruction.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole other thing. Is like I don't want too much of this to be comparing it to Overwatch, but like
Yeah.
really, it is the Overwatch is the only other really big hero shooter. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest. It's there's not really any other competition besides that. This game released, they designed it as a competitor to Overwatch because that one was just completely alone in the space. And obviously, a lot of people don't like Overwatch, even if they play it a lot. There's so many problems with the game, whether it be balancing, how the way the roles work. I mean, they're about to go back to 6v6 maybe. Like they don't know what they're doing with their own game, you know?
I
This
swear.
game has a lot better of like a direction of like what they want it to be, you know, where it's like every single character that they release feels overpowered almost kind of thing. Where like what's it, Black Widow can headshot like one shot, but like it doesn't take forever to charge up like Widow does. I mean, like Widow from Overwatch
Yeah. I
does.
think I don't I swear I saw something where Widow's headshot does not Black Widow's headshot doesn't one shot. It at least takes them to one health, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, e even still, that's probably best for the health of the game. I mean, having a
Yeah.
one-shot mechanic in any game is just always really annoying whenever it's just you dink him in the head. You know, if that's all it takes, you know, and not to really go back to the roots. I'm not. This is the only time we're gonna bring up For Honor in this, but Sohei, whenever he gets all of his souls. So if you're not familiar, you have to land six different attacks, and then you have to land another attack, and then you maybe get a one-shot move. It's like in that instance, it's much better, and that's kind of like the way the ults work in this game, you know, where
Yeah.
there is ults where it is basically a one
It's a
shot,
one
but I mean
shot.
you have to build that up. It's not easy to get your ultimate, and some rounds you don't even get it. That's why there's the transfer, the ult transfer between the capture point rounds.
I honestly thought it was pretty easy to get your ult. Huh. Maybe it wasn't.
I mean, it
I'm trying to
depends
remember.
on the hero, definitely.
Yeah. Like Scarlet Witch, I'm pretty sure her ultimate just one shots no matter what if you're in the
Hmm.
area, but it also takes a very long time for it to charge up and to explode.
Yeah, to
And
actually
then
activate.
there's Magnetos that like you have to wait for it to charge, but you also have to aim it and like perfectly hit someone direct impact.
Yeah, it's not like
There's
it's hit scan at all, you know.
Yeah, and like Iron Man's, it doesn't instantly kill like all tanks. I don't think,
No.
but it does insta kill like a lot of heroes. But there's ways to get past it since it takes a bit to charge, but also Captain America coming out, he's able to reflect that.
Yeah. Yeah, Captain America is going to be a great addition to the game. That's a whole other thing where, I mean, there's really two ways. One is that there's almost like it's having an Overwatch problem of having too many DPS comparatively to healers or tanks, you know? And Overwatch is still trying to rectify that issue where I mean, they are releasing pretty much only healers or tanks. I mean, there's like two healers, two tanks, and then you get one DPS, and then we're back to two healers, two tanks, you know? They're having to catch up
Mhm.
the roles, so I just hope that that's not really like a situation this game has. Whenever it comes to superheroes, you know, a lot of them are fight. You know, like we're gonna fight each other with fists or with weapons or whatever. I can imagine it is kind of hard to like put certain characters into roles where it's like, oh well, this is support. You know, like that. There's not many heroes that are designed from the comics, obviously, to help other heroes out. You know, so that design direction I'm assuming can be hard, but with tanks and stuff, really you just need to make the guy big. Like if they add a Ghost Rider and he's just like a massive dude, I would have no qualms with that. I would love that because I mean, one, he's a tank, right? We obviously there's a shortage of those comparatively to the
Oh
DPS and
yeah.
stuff on especially you know on the launch of the game, which hopefully they will realize and they'll get it back. But I mean, another thing is like with the role queue who knows what the meta is going to be? Maybe it is going to be four DPS, one tank, one healer, right? Like that that could be what they're designing it around. You know, like we really don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna take time for us to realize the meta, because there could be three DPS, two healers, one tank. It could be two, two, two. It could be freaking like three healers, one DPS, two tanks. It's just gonna take time, which also I'm interested in seeing the competitive scene because especially like high tier, are are certain teams going to realize that there's counters for a like one tank, three DPS, two supports, or are they? Is there going to be like certain counters for like these amount of like roles in a certain team,
Hmm.
or is it going to be set on just one thing? Because I do definitely see it like multiple teams like shoot one team having a certain amount and the other team having a certain amount, and that'll actually be really cool to see two different teams with a different set of
Yeah,
role
for sure.
queues. That would be really interesting to see just the whole competitive scene,
Yeah.
and I'm just really excited to see how it goes, what what they're gonna call it, whatever,
Oh yeah,
and
like goats or like the all the different nicknames. Yeah, no, that's definitely
exactly.
gonna be fun. I mean, this is just a guess, obviously. Like the game's not even out. We don't know who what characters are good or bad or not. I mean, we couldn't even tell that in the beta, really,
Oh
besides
yeah,
Magneto
everyone was
being
just
broken,
so good.
right? I
Everyone
mean,
was fun.
um, but there, well, I imagine what's going to happen is there's going to be certain like team comps. It's not really going to be like a meta where it's going to be one tank, three DPS, and two healers. It's more going to
Hmm.
be like, oh well, this team you have Captain America and Venom, and then you have Punisher and Spider-Man, and then you have Loki and Mantis, right? Where
Yeah.
like, and then there'll be other teams where it'll be like, oh, well, there's one tank and there's four DPS and there's one healer, where it's not just going to be like there's not just going to be the same amount of DPS or healers or tanks. It's going to require like different team compositions, and especially I think they're pushing that almost because they said they're not getting rid of open queue, right? Open queue is 100% going to continue to be a thing, and also with the team ups, right? It makes sense to build certain combinations of teams with the team ups because I mean, some of those abilities are just completely overpowered, right?
Yeah. There's like Wolverine has been introduced today, and he has freaking if y'all play Dragon Ball Legends, you would know about the endurance ability of someone losing their health and then gaining some back. And Wolverine quite literally has that ability, which I understand. Like he has the regen factor and things like that. That's his power, and that's actually really cool. Uh, it's interesting to see that the most interesting thing I'm seeing is that Marvel Rivals is going straight into CC, crowd control, stuns. They don't give it a damn. Almost everyone has a form of CC.
Hmm.
Overwatch, they got rid of it as soon as Overwatch 2 came out, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Freaking Cass stun got replaced with a magnetic grenade, which is now a back to a flash grenade, but it hinders, and that's just a completely different story. Other characters just I mean Overwatch has gone back to their some
Brig
stun
Bash.
things. Brig Bash, yes, she has her stun. Um, there's Orisa who still like stuns, yes, and then there's Doom and things like that. But Rivals is going straight back into roots and having CC all over the place. I've seen a clip of Necros and Flats. Necros showing Flats that Squirrel Girl three has a combo of three stuns that he used on Venom. And for everyone to know, Venom is like one of the he's one of the most annoying tanks in from that we remember from the beta because of how much health he gains.
Hmm.
He would gain health from being around either enemy. I think it was the amount of enemy, like how the hamster
Maul.
ball from
Yeah.
Overwatch would be around his around enemies and gain more health. And it turned a Venom into a crazy sponge, crazy tank. It was insane, and he wouldn't die, especially from his ultimate, if he had both of that, because he
Hmm.
kept gaining health. Squirrel Girl, she just took he did a whole entire three combo of CC and took his health down to like a quarter. But to be fair, again, there's gonna be I doubt that I'm gonna see that in play very much unless it's gonna be some super isolated 1v1
Yeah.
because there's gonna be the whole entire ideal of there's the other team. They also have a lot of stuns and they have counters. There's just so many things that counter, but also uh, there's just ways to deal with everything in a certain way,
Yeah.
and I actually really like seeing that. The Rivals isn't afraid of doing what Overwatch was scared of because everybody got terrified of CC or like one shots or things like that. Rivals is going into it head first, but they're also showing what's the word uh, a plan.
Game design, like
No,
an image for what they want, like the game to be like. Right. Well, anyway, yeah, CC is
like
definitely
that.
uh CC is definitely a big issue for sure. I mean, we don't know. We're just gonna have to see it in the game. But like, if you watch that Flats gameplay, it's like he misses 99% of the A chords. The A chords are not something that are easy to hit. You have to charge it up, and then you have to throw it, and it's a very slow projectile. And so being able to like hit all of those at once is fairly unrealistic. And I mean, really, most heroes have like some movement abilities. Like the second they get CC'd once, they can just start spamming that movement ability, get out, and they're most likely not going to be hit again. Like with Venom, because they're using on Venom, he gets hit by an acorn, spams L1 and just swings away. Like the second that he's out of there, and he's not getting hit with another acorn. And if he does, then he's so far away at that point that it's not really a problem. If Magic gets hit by one, portal, 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 dash. Like do like do whatever, because
Mhm.
I don't think
I
we're
just
really
know
just gonna
there's
have to see. But I mean, designing entire characters around CC like Squirrel Girl is definitely a decision. And I'm not I'm not making the game. So we're just gonna have to see. I'm sure they know better than me that there is some issues with CC and stuff like that. But I mean, like you said, it was a big issue with Overwatch. They removed a lot of
It
it,
was.
because it was just not it was not fun. Diablo 4 also, that was an issue in that where, I mean, granted it's not a PvP game, but yeah, a lot of PvE stuff, they would just stun you and stun you and stun you, and then you would just die. You know, you couldn't pop a health potion, you couldn't pop any of your defensive abilities. So, I mean, getting like one shot and basically getting one shot and just getting stunned over and over again is never fun in any game ever, no matter what genre it is in. So, yeah, no, that's definitely a big issue that we're just gonna have to see. That's, play it by ear.
I just remember that the word was contingency plan or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was trying to go to. But yeah, um,
The balancing of the game is a whole other thing because they're going with a very distinctive style comparatively to basically any other game where it's every single hero feels powerful, you know? Like you don't look at anybody on that roster and you play as them and you're like, this kind of sucks. You know, like maybe you don't know how to play as them. Like in the beta, I didn't know how to play as Penny Parker, right? But I got rolled by some of them. Penny Parker was
oh yeah,
crazy whenever you're good with her,
it was
right?
annoying.
Yeah, like a lot of it does come from that. Where, yeah, we're just gonna have to see because I haven't really played a game where it's like you just you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good. You know, like the balance philosophy is everyone is good, right? Like
Hmm.
how is power creep gonna work in this game? Because I mean, look at any other game, power creep is an insane problem. Like releasing
There,
new
I
heroes, they have to be good, they have to be better, they have to have more abilities, and like if you look at Captain America, with a team up ability, dude, the entire bottom of your screen is just abilities that you can press. Like Captain America has so many
there's
different
so
abilities. It's
many.
crazy.
Almost every single character they've added just has like seven abilities. I swear at the bottom
Hmm.
right of their screen, and I'm like, wow. I like most of them. I swear are like a passive or something else. And then like people were freaking out when they saw when Echo released. She had like four abilities, five or something, four I
Yeah,
think, and they were freaking out by seeing like so many abilities and
Captain
more
America has like
more stuff to
7.
come now. Yeah, and like Rival's like, yeah, we're gonna go above and beyond and just do better.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Uh,
it is completely insane. And then like you also look at Overwatch, there's heroes like Ashe or Bastion that have two abilities. I don't think a singular character in this game only has two abilities.
Actually, I think Loki does.
Does he? I mean,
I
Loki.
don't know.
Well, he has his
Oh, I think Jeff
clones.
does, because
Jeff.
Jeff has that swim ability, and then he has the bubbles. I think he just has two, but
Mm,
like even characters with just two abilities just have like also more to their kit.
yeah,
Um,
because um he has two different types of fires, and then his ultimate is just like is crazy. We haven't seen anything like it. And it's not like it's completely overpowered. I mean,
mhm.
it is completely overpowered against some
Oh yeah,
characters, right?
it'll just
But
it'll
most
just stamp
characters
you
have
down.
a movement ability that they can use to get out of it. And that's a whole other thing is like most characters do have a movement ability. I mean, characters are dashing around the map and getting everywhere. It's crazy how
Mhm.
intense the game can be sometimes, you know?
Seeing if you've seen Cloak and Dagger's gameplay already, there are literally two different characters, and they both have like a ton of different abilities. They probably have like 14 abilities in all. Uh, it's insane, like seeing that, and it makes me think that I feel Marvel Rivals is taking the reverse approach of Dragon Ball Fighters right now, which is a fighting game. If y'all don't know, very good, very fun Dragon Ball fighting game. And right now, they're just buffing everybody. Everybody's just getting buffed. Everybody's good. Everybody is just broken and just.
Hmm.
They just basically said, all right, well, we're done updating this game, but we'll just let y'all have fun with this random stuff and
Right.
things. and Rivals is just doing the vice versa and letting y'all just do whatever you want and
But you're still gonna
bugging and
update the
stuff.
game, right? I mean,
Exactly.
and actually on the topic of updates, it is kind of crazy like how much content they're gonna be producing out.
Hmm.
I think Overwatch has 42 heroes, right? And that's after how many
Something like
years,
that.
right? This one's launching with 33. We're gonna get two heroes in the first season, I believe, and then every season after that. Every subsequent season is going to have a hero release with it, which even Overwatch doesn't do, right? I mean, it is crazy how insane, like there's so much content is being pushed out. And then if you look at the monetization systems of this game, they clear Overwatch out of the water. Their battle pass kind of works like Helldivers, where like if you get it, you don't have any FOMO or like fear of missing out. I think that's what it stands for,
Hmm.
because it's permanent. You can always just go back to it, kind of like Halo Infinite. That's a better
Yeah,
one.
Halo Infinite. Yeah, you can just work on that battle pass. You can buy it again or whatever.
Yeah, and then you can get premium currency for free doing certain activities through like achievements or through the battle pass or through certain events, right? So you can get all of that. And like the skin prices still a little crazy. I mean, $20 for a singular skin and a hero with like 30 plus characters.
Hmm.
Kind of that's kind of ridiculous. I'm not gonna
It's a
lie.
little crazy, yeah.
Like it
But I
was
guess they got
30
to make the
times
money
20,
somehow.
right? Like if you want one skin for every single character, that is gonna be a lot of money that you're putting out, you know?
Yeah.
So about So, the tournament play, I'm curious how they're gonna do that if they're gonna continuously do, because in the beta, if you don't know, they
Hmm.
had tournaments where you could just sign up for it, right? Where you could start a guild. But they have guilds already. Overwatch doesn't have
Yeah.
guilds. I mean, like, come on,
I don't even know if that's in their plans.
the joke's right. I mean, I think they've talked about it before, and like, everybody
They
wants
must
it,
have.
but like.
They must have talked
Yeah.
about it.
Anyway, you can take your guild and you can sign up for a tournament and you can play it, right? Anybody can play it. I'm just curious how if they're gonna like keep it with that or they're gonna kind of more move towards like most competitive scenes are like League of Legends, where you have certain spots of teams, for like big tournaments, right? Or if they're gonna or they're only gonna do those, there's gonna be some small tournaments that everyone else can compete in. I'm like, it is kind of crazy, and it may suffer from the what I call the Fortnite problem, and that is making the competitive aspect to the game almost too readily available, and making it to where if you feel like every single person needs to be competitive at this game. They need to be better, and it can almost create a toxic environment where some people, like I have a job, I have a full-time job, I can't play this game 24/7, but other people like that just got out of high school, they can play this game 24/7. Like 365, they're just on it, like
Hmm.
practicing new combo abilities or stuff like that. And a lot of time, it's the same exact thing happened with Fortnite. Whenever they released Playground, people started practicing their 90s and edits and all this kind of stuff, and like just absolutely insane pro stuff that people like me or like some like most people just can't keep up with. So I feel like the competitive scene may divulge into almost they may get rid of these local tournaments because there's just going to be huge competitive teams that are getting paid thousands of dollars just dominating the small tournaments. And hopefully what they'll do is they'll have those teams just not be able to compete in those, but they'll like host actual tournaments for them. So that would be like the best case scenario, I guess. But even still, those small teams, they're gonna dominate comparatively to most people.
I was personally surprised to see that we were able to even play in the tournaments at all. I think I suspected that oh, this is like probably for like big like YouTubers or like maybe like some other stuff. But then like I realized, oh, you just have to have a guild to even play in it. And that's like, oh wow, they're giving this to like to the normies, to the free people, to the other people. Fortnite, you gotta be in like some other stuff. You most other games, you just have to be like actually really high level to even compete in a tournament for like any sort of money or just like for fun, I guess. You just have to you have to be like a little higher than the normal.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming that there's going to be certain tournaments where it's like your bronze are up and other tournaments where it's like your diamond and up, stuff like that, where it's a little more restrictive with that. But that's another time of speculation. Like, we're really just going to have to see on the launch of the game and how they want to manage it and how they want to do their own thing.
Yeah, I already feel that they have a I mean they do already have like a whole entire roadmap that like they already got everything planned out, what they're gonna do, what they're planning on to release next and things like that. Overwatch just feels like it's you know what, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that like right now and stuff. They're doing the drawing boards like as like just right now and
Yeah,
then
they have
they're
they
just
have
doing
no
whatever
idea
on the
what they're
drawing boards
doing.
immediately.
Yeah, I mean, their most recent hero, Hazard, I think his name is,
Yes.
right?
I don't
You
appreciate his design,
Yeah,
but
I don't
he
like his
does
design
look
either.
cool.
But you look at Hazard, right? Compare this guy, this random Scottish guy named Hazard, right? Comparatively to any Marvel hero. I mean, any Marvel hero. The Marvel hero is instantly going to be more hype. Even if his design isn't good, there's going to be skins that makes it better, right? You could say the same thing of Overwatch. It doesn't matter. The just name brand, right? Like if they release Ghost Rider or even some like small like the Wasp, right? Wasp from the small one. Anyway, you get the point. Anything from Marvel is going to instantly blow that out of the water, and that kind of goes into like I mean we really have brought up Overwatch a lot in this, but
Yeah.
it is a big part of it for sure. I explained that earlier, but is this going to kill Overwatch? And people are like, oh, well, this game's going to kill this game or whatever. We've never actually seen a game kill another game on any base. I mean, at least from what I remember,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's literally never happened. The people that like Overwatch are going to continue playing Overwatch, but we really don't know. I mean, this game it release into a market where there's one competitor and the competitor doesn't know what they're doing. The most of the community doesn't like what they're doing, and the
Yeah.
content for that game is just basically non-existent. Like this game,
Mhm.
they know exactly what they're doing. They're releasing content. I mean, they have the IP brand to back it up. Like it is really they have there's not one disadvantage they have besides Overwatch developing this game for so long. They just have the pure,
Yeah, the
almost,
experience.
yeah, experience over them where like they kind of know what they're doing, but then you look at it and it's like, what are they doing? They don't know, right? Like,
Exactly. I'm more surprised that this game wasn't a mobile game or something. They didn't turn into like some. They didn't give like this. I'm surprised that Marvel didn't give. What's the company that's running this game again? I can't remember what they're called.
NetEast, I think.
NetEast, I think. Yeah. Didn't they like make like some mobile games? Isn't that what they're mainly known for?
Yeah, I think so. This is like their first big release, which is kind of crazy that
Yeah.
like this is their first big release?
I mean, shoot, like nowadays, like if you hear that there's gonna be another Star Wars, Marvel, DC game, some big IP like that, it's gonna be on your phone. It's gonna be like maybe on the computer, but a little weird. But normally it's gonna be on your phone and things like that, and it's gonna be just another. Oh, hi, there's another IP game
Hmm.
that is just on the phone, and everybody's gonna forget about. It's gonna be like some turn-based game probably, or something like that,
Yeah,
and nobody's gonna remember it even existed.
yeah.
But
Well, I
this
mean,
time they actually went big, and it's really impressive.
just look at Star Wars Hunters, and I know probably some of you don't even know what that is, and it is a
You mean
Star
like
Wars
99% of them?
hero shooter, right? It is a Star Wars hero shooter. Star Wars has a hero shooter, and it's actually pretty gosh darn good. It's not bad, right? Like the character designs are
It's pretty
cool.
fun, yeah.
Like the
That's
the
cool.
characters are fairly unique to themselves, and there's like fun game modes and maps, but it is restricted to your phone. Granted, like a few months ago did say there's going to be like a PC port to the game, but like it's not going to console. If Star Wars had been like, hey, What if we release this game, this pretty gosh darn good game, to all platforms instead of just mobile, where it's gonna die instantly? Most phones can't even run it, right? Like,
Hmm.
I'm so confused by the decision to like restrict it, especially because Star Wars Hunters, if and I don't know, most of you don't even know about this, but much less the development cycle. It was announced years and years and years and years ago, and it got delayed so many times. And I was so hyped for it whenever it was first revealed. I kept up with the game for like every single thing that came out, right? I was like, surely they're going to release it on console. Surely they're going to at least release it on PC. They still released the game after like maybe 6 years of delays to phone until only phone. Like I don't understand why would you restrict your game like that, you know? But it's really just so you can sell cosmetics at a higher price, you know, or like have a gotcha element to it. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, most games that if they want to if they want to test the waters or something like that, they normally would just first put it into a PC, just like freaking Valorant. I don't think when it started, they never had a plan for it to go into console,
Hmm.
ever. And
Yeah.
now that they've done that, there's and League of Legends is run by the same company, Riot Games. I'm gonna let y'all know I don't care for League of Legends. I never want to touch that game. I've actually touched it one time, and I generally did not like playing it at all. It
But
didn't
Arcane
seem
is
like too
fire
much
though.
fun at all. What?
But Arcane is fire though.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
That's
gotta play
like,
League because of Arcane, man. You have to.
yeah.
You
Well,
gotta fall
I
for the
watched
marketing.
Cyberpunk Edge Runners and I played like a little bit of Cyberpunk and I didn't really touch it again.
Yeah. No,
But
it is
League has a
crazy.
chance to probably come to console since they've done that. But I don't. If they ever do that, then maybe I'll touch it once with friends. But I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
maybe
I don't think League is
maybe
coming to
once.
console. I don't think League is coming to console.
Yeah,
There's not a doubt in my mind it's coming to console. Is this game coming? Is Marvel Rivals going to be on Switch?
it. I haven't heard anything like that. They probably maybe have said something like that, and I just didn't
Yeah, I
look
don't
up. But
know.
they probably I wouldn't be surprised if they added the
Yeah,
Switch.
I mean, neither would I. I mean, it.
Switch is kind of getting everything.
Yeah, seriously, Switch has a lot for sure.
Nintendo got mad that they only have like these kiddie games a lot more. No offense to any Nintendo fans. I know you guys have like other more adult games, but primarily Nintendo is strictly for kids.
Yes.
But now they are widening their broadsides, their views, and uh, shoot, they put Mortal Kombat 1 in the game, but
Yeah.
it looks
Yeah, I mean,
horrible.
even if it
I
doesn't look good, they still added
it
Mortal
wasn't even
Kombat to the
runnable. The
Switch,
game's not
right?
even runnable.
I mean, Diablo is on there, right? Like they really, in the
Yeah.
last few years, they really have expanded like the level of games that they're
Mhm.
able to put on there. And Marvel Rivals isn't exactly like Mortal Kombat 1 or Diablo and the level of like maturity that it is. So I seriously wouldn't doubt, even if it's not out like on launch, if they weren't gonna make a Switch version of it. Because that really is so much of the player base, you know, like so many gamers are exclusive to Switch or exclusive to Nintendo.
Yeah, cuz I mean it's Nintendo's more of like for the non like gamer. I honestly hate that word, but yeah. It's Nintendo specifically driven for like the casual person that likes to play video games that grew up like seeing Mario, Zelda, big name brands like that. And oh shoot, there's a new Nintendo console. You can take it on the go. It's travel ready anywhere, and there's new games of that big IP that everybody loves, and Nintendo's just widening their broadside,
Yeah.
widening their views.
I mean, especially like if there's like a kid that has a Switch and they're like, "Oh my goodness, wait, what is this Marvel game?" You know, like they're probably not going to be good at it, but it's
Yeah.
another player that they're going to have. So,
Mhm. I mean, shoot, Overwatch is on the Switch.
yeah. Yep.
Oh man.
All right. Well, is that everything that we wanted to go over?
I think about we went for a good while. We had a few awkward pauses because we were trying to think.
We made it through. We're alive at the end of the tunnel. We made
Yeah.
it to the light.
Uh, Shoot, I hope y'all stayed through and enjoyed us talking about Marvel Rivals and things like that, giving us our thoughts. We both really loved the game. It was a lot of fun playing the
Yeah.
beta. We were actually lucky enough to get in the game
No, dude,
because we
that's a
were
whole other
we
thing.
were
Is
trying
we were
so
trying
hard to
so
get in.
hard, and
When you guys like said you got in, I was
there was so many
I
there
was
was so
at
many
I was out
glitches.
eating.
Yeah, I know because I so basically I think it was the second drop on their website. They were like, "We're sorry guys. We did an emergency second drop." And I was like, "Oh my God, everyone." I called everyone. I was like, "Get in,
You
go in
got the
right now.
bat
Get your
signal.
code right now." So because it
You
was
caught the
so
bat signal and
depressing. I
everything.
was so depressed. I was like, "Oh, I'm never getting in this game. No."
Yeah.
But I managed to get
Everybody
the
wanted to get in there. The
cyan
game's
venom.
insane. We had like maybe 5 or 6 people in all, including me, all of us trying to get into the game at once. We just needed one person,
Yeah, because of
just
the way that the
one to be able to get
recommendations
in.
worked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just one person to get in, and then it would work. It would trickle like an infection or whatever. We could trickle in by them playing like maybe 1 or 2 games,
Yep.
and we'd finally get in by code. But then also we learned that invite codes, it wouldn't have worked out how we hoped because we realized the invite codes were uh, um, locked from the timing of when the codes would drop also.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So we just pretty much all got really lucky that we got in
Yeah, no.
because we all got in.
I mean, if that's something that you need a tip, if you're playing any game ever, join the Discord. Join the Discord for the game because there no most of there's like exclusive stuff. You get notified anytime there's an update, patch notes, like the very first area that they put anything out. Yeah, it's crazy. All right. Anyway, now that's done.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope that you enjoyed. It's definitely our first. It's a first, definitely our first time for sure doing
For
anything
doing
like
something like
this.
this. I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think we did
There was
bad.
there was some bumps, little bumps,
Eight out of
but
10 yap sesh.
yeah, I yapped just like you do.
Yep. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, I hope that you enjoyed, and yeah. So, see ya.
Thank y'all for watching. See ya.